Workspace. It's this. Stream 45. Okay. Stream 72. Week. Right. Not having done this in a week, I already forgot how to do it. All right, so quick life update. Now it's April the 3rd, and I was on a vacation for a week, and even though I did some thinking, something related to my work, life work, I haven't been that productive. One thing I did do was I updated, or I further developed a website. Here I tested audio. Oh, now I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Maybe it doesn't. Doesn't really matter at this point, but I'm just gonna ask Gemini whether it how to Estonian greetings for hey baby. Nice one. Toggle one specific setting. So I didn't do this. I'm pretty sure I can't change this setting right now. Automatically record when streaming. Can I apply it? If I can, that's great. I don't think it did do it. I think if I stop streaming and continue again quickly, it will happen. All right. Okay. Now it should work. Yes, there are 2 recordings here. Because where did I put those? I think here. Not OBS. Let's see. AI. It is no. So I did have those. Subtitles I downloaded from YouTube. Where did I put those? I think they're here. It's not random. I thought I put them here. So they would go to anyways, what YouTube does automatically is terrible. Maybe I'm just very bad at speaking English, but what I want is to have the recording of these videos that I could in the future potentially automatically put to AI, and that would create a transcript what I discussed. Of course, in the future, because I'm recording my screen, it would be nice for AI to understand what I'm doing also on my desktop, but for now, getting good audio and the transcript, that's the start. So I did that quickly before this stream, and here is my updated website. I wanted to use as many AI tokens, premium tokens, or requests that I could before the end of the month. And I was able to, what did I do last time? I think this was there. I don't know, I think I added this. Now I'm not sure. What did I do last time here? It doesn't really matter. These are something obvious, but here I have the theme, light theme, dark theme, and then language switcher. This, okay, Linky works in desktop mode, but doesn't work on mobile. The I in the end will be turned to the second row. But this was what I wanted to do. Now, when I click that, it loaded from the backend, from server, the assets for this game. Now, when I click again, this is the navigation game that I have probably mentioned. So these are my web pages. Now I'm here. I can go to my history, and I'm there. When I click again, now I'm here, and I could go to my future. Of course, right now it's not that interesting or useful because I only have 5 pages. Navigating between these is pretty easy. Let's see if that works. So that doesn't really work, at least the first time, but yes, I can still use this. I also made some improvements or debugging. This didn't work. No, wait. That worked? Okay, maybe I saw wrong. But the idea of the game is to navigate, or the idea here is that there will be like 100 different pages. So instead of clicking through menus, I could first go here. This is the kind of big place. And then if I stay here, maybe automatically, if I stay longer than 2 seconds, it will make that area bigger. And then I'm navigating in Now page. Maybe there are like 20 different projects. I can browse the pages this way. It's quite difficult to remain here. So right now it doesn't make that much sense, but in the future this will be a bigger game, and possibly it will stay like this, that there aren't really that many details, like it's just a white ball and then different color floors. But I'm very happy already about this progress, that the idea is there. Was I didn't move. And did I make this? I think, I'm not sure whether I created this. On stream or not. Hello friend, my name is also news name I've created, keep Nuni. Faced to nothingness of, yeah. It's just small text. And then there is a button to here. I added TikTok. That wasn't on my previous website. Overall, I am really happy about this start. I tried to think what to do next. That I would like to have the backend somehow connected and the database initialized. I haven't even created my account there. But I'm not sure what to do next. I have been too tired to think, and also I was on a vacation, didn't have my laptop. It's not the same as being here on my computer or a desktop PC. Adding CV, that's something I could do. A button, hey, see my CV. And adding a few projects, but I don't want to create too many temporary solutions. In my future, I could explain more about my goals. To aim for world peace. This I haven't really tested that much, but there isn't really that much to test. The links work. And wait, yeah, it works as well. These should work as well. This is not the best icons or ways, but so far so good. I haven't asked anyone to give their opinions about this. (6,000 kilobits per second). Have I changed that? The stream's current bitrate 6,300 is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend to use 13,500. Why is it so low? What's happening? OBS Studio, 15% CPU usage. I might have changed some settings. It's just CPU. What did I change? Streaming encoder bitrate is set to 6,000. Why? Output mode advanced. That's why. Okay, so it might have constant bitrate. This I'm not sure. What did I use? Very fast. Higher. Less CPU. I hope the stream looks fine. Can I check that? It's fine. I'll check that later. Okay, but now it's 13,000. Even though the recommendation is for streaming game properly. I'm just showing static screens most of the time. Now, switching to AI assistant. 24/7. On my own machine. Oh, I already had one here. This will be life management, but the idea is very close to my life work and completely AI related. So let's put it there. Have I thought about this? How much? Large canvas. Vision. Increase my productivity. Let's see. Solutions. Okay, I will read this again. Death and life. Not be a limit on how far I can get. Happily, yes. I want to have fun. Yes. And this. Helper of humanity. Yes. Prince clock rate. Haven't been able to do that. Unfortunately, allow more energy usage. I'm tired all the time. But I think that's mostly because I haven't had clear goal. Most of the time I'm confused or it's just unclear what should I do. Ability to be productive and use IRAC in any situation. Biggest safe place. I didn't use IRAC during the vacation, at least properly. Didn't stay in control, although in some ways I never go away from this one mode, thinking about life work. Maybe during exercise, sports, I do, but at any moment when I'm conscious, I do think about this world peace. That the conversations, I'm interested to hear what others are saying, and I often try to connect that to world peace. What is this? Important. Schedule knowing what to do in different time frames, roadmap. So this is one area that I want to use AI. I will come back to it. Adjusting the schedule. Life management. Also AI usage. As I mentioned, I'm already sort of here. Not perfectly, because I haven't become in any way productive yet. So only then could I say that, hey, I have reached this state, because maybe if I become more productive, I will lose the connection with others, or that won't automatically come along. When conscious and thinking about, feel relaxed and feel extra energy. In some ways, yes, I think this is going well. But actually, yes, I don't need to think about it. Life mostly in small bursts, going into our flow state. By default, I'd by default be conscious. Data handling using IRAC. Ah, yeah. Yes. I thought about this yesterday, that I still go into stores or new places and sort of lose the bigger picture, that I might go to buy something that I haven't bought before, and then my real vision, conscious vision, is very narrow, that I can't see the product, and then I ask, hey, do you know where this is? And they pretty much point directly in front of me, but, hey, it's here. And that has happened many times. Of course, in that scenario, it's fine, I don't care, but it represents the bigger thing, which is leadership. That a leader needs to be able to go back to that, having that bigger view, things physically, but also conceptually. And I haven't found that yet, but it's not high priority right now. Become kind of a machine, yes. Bigger picture, create solutions for world peace. Feedback, fixative, create questions, yes. Connect with people, productivity, my productivity, get rich, increase my productive hierarchy, working processes. So this is the AI chatbot or agent. Physically, do exercise. Yesterday I walked almost 20 kilometers. I'm not gonna do that again, hopefully, but it was one time experience. I wanted to go with this group that I had never been with. Research better solutions, more money, find people. Yes. So from here, it's really about this right now. Just checking the live canvas quickly. My setup. Democracy, AI. Run the model locally. Use model by API. Visionary, founder, helper. Okay. So world peace, helper business. I've forgotten this. Can find politics. It's dusting somewhere. Iraq, okay. AI skills, startups, finding a job, personal website, community skills, moving classic. this. I just haven't had the time. The next step is to focus on presentation skills, probably using Canva or some other tools. Start to bring the project to a point that it can be presented. Gather relevant, important questions or shortcomings, question marks about the solution, so that I could potentially send the emails, try to see whether someone is interested about this. Build a roadmap, what are the possible future of this project. But right now I'm interested in this. I'm interested in finding a job, finding out about possibilities, people. For that, I wanted to create a personal website first, because this would be the place that I lead people into. Hey, go here and you could see my projects. You could see what I'm doing and what I have done. You can connect with me. That didn't work. Wait, what? What did I? So, I need to work on this. Not important. But this is very important. Just advancing my personal skills, knowledge, vision, because that's the central for everything else. What do you mean I made some change here? Move this, of course. Now let's move to AI. Presentation prompts, AI workflow, AI University, task, examples, persona tone, project files, materials. So these are tools, AI tools for specific tasks. I don't think it mentioned OpenClaw. Maybe it did. I don't see it. AI notes, tools for creation, no. Learning PC workflow. So it should be here, I think. This is specific idea about easy to use, light chatbot. I thought what was gonna be CLI. Maybe it will, but for now I'm still using the Gemini browser window. For different agents, color coded. Okay, Miro AI integration, automated tools, APIs. Okay. I asked what are the most used APIs for AI agents, or maybe it was NA10. Gemini CLI. AI chat, AI assistant. Okay, so it's here. It's under, what is it under? Under automated tools. No. Okay, so it's tools for productivity. It's in the right place. Having a constant conversation on phone, and then building AI. What is new AI? Thinking about future ideas. Very, very nice. Let's start building this idea here. Chat. "24/7". Before I start researching this, I want to write my own thoughts about this. So AI assistant, one of the, at least what I'm thinking of, is Tony Stark, and what was his AI's name? Chavez. Tony Stark and Chavez. And that you have some sort of personal assistant that, of course, here he's constantly just talking to him, and he listens and hears everything. He has access to, or it has access to every machine and so on. It's possible to some level already. Of course, to make it fluent, quick, you need money to spend on the API calls, like connecting to Claude. But that's not a problem, or that's not the idea now. The idea is, can I find this useful, and how? Because if I can see great potential, it might be surprisingly easy. And also because every part of AI processes are being developed all the time, it could quite quickly come to a point that, hey, previously I tried this, the engine was bad, now it works. Like with that, my language learning preference. that I would like to just start chatting and then start learning these commands, questions in the language that I'm learning. I would be talking that language already if it worked well. But the only thing I might need to do is just wait. Someone will create maybe language learning specific AI or just general AI can be used for it. Because it's not that high priority, I haven't even considered testing ChatGPT or any other general conversational AI. Okay, but now on to the benefits, potential, let's call it. Potential of AI assistant. Where do I need help? What would I like to use it for? Right now, it's not a problem. I don't receive that many emails, but newsletters. I think I might have 15 newsletters. I didn't read them yesterday and probably not 2 days ago also. So what if I wanted that, hey, I'm not going to read them, just you know what I want to do, get a summary of these newsletters, which probably are already a summaries. Interesting tools that I could use. For private emails, if someone sends me private stuff, of course, I don't want to read those or use any AI service that would potentially leak that information or use it, I don't know. But if it's just local, I think it's fine. You can't be sure all the time or ever, but I think it's fine. Also, I would like to start using Proton email right now as my, it's here as well, as my contact email. I use contact.keepnuni@gmail.com, but I think I will change that to Proton Mail. Some people might find that better. But that's very clear use case, and it should be pretty easy with NA10 or some other. I'm not sure how OpenClaw works exactly, but I think still needs some tools to connect to APIs. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it has it included, but email is one of the easiest one. Because I already own that. I don't have to connect to anyone else's website. Read. Do I want to read news? Sure. Do I want to do that manually? If I go to some website, okay, this is fine, although I already heard about it. How political, how important this is. Epstein. Don't know what that is about, but basically there are many things I'm that interested, but I would still want to know about this. Maybe not in this format. This is just one website. What if I know they have RSS feed, but not every web news website has this, although, and I know most don't. YouTube does have RSS, so that's one possibility. YouTube, Reddit might have RSS. Let's see. Or just some API. It might cost something, but I don't think it's really that big of an issue. So that could be one APIs. This could be some passive. When nothing is happening, I don't receive emails. What can it do on the background? Can always research more. There might be interesting conversation about democracy happening. I can, of course, have what's it called? Notifications coming from new job listings. It's very standard feature, but what if there is 1,000 websites or services for this? social media. Research history. While I stream or have this is very essential part of an AI assistant. It's always listening. Is it good? While I stream, it's fine because this information will be public anyways. So have an AI always listening, and then I can say, hey Jarvis, research this for me. It should have so not only does it have access to this live feed, but it would have access to my notes. So it knows when I write some notes. And this could be interesting that it could have write access. Maybe I see this, hey, clean this up a little bit, or create a suggestion. I don't know I just read that OBS, there was a new update that they have updated their command line interface tools. What can be used there? What if right now I wrote these things and I'm just lazily saying, hey AI, can you clean this up? And instead of it modifying this file, I didn't want it to. What if instead it creates new one and then splits the page like this on its own? It creates a new one and I can just look at it and say, hey, that's fine, that's good. I'm not Obsidian, I'm not sure if I can have line numbers, but if there was line numbers, I would see that, hey, that from line 10 to 25, it looks good. Add that, but modify the other ones, it doesn't look that good. That's something that could be done already. Obsidian, maybe not. Should I? I'm kind of interested. So community plugins, browse line relative numbers. I think I would prefer having relative but static. I'm not gonna add that now. It's the idea. So as I develop, I would have access to that through speech. It does research. This is interesting one. I want to start playing a game where I'm just answering questions, maybe through speech. There's a question, hey, you mentioned world peace, what do you mean by this? Or it doesn't say anywhere, maybe I mentioned this on some prior stream and that AI doesn't have the knowledge. Maybe the context window is not just there. So I want to answer a lot. I want it to ask questions. That's something I thought about, was it 3 years ago? Maybe it was 3 years ago. That this is the direction that AI is going, or I knew back then. It will go to a point where people just answer questions. AI will hire human brains to understand topics more or better. AI will hire humans for difficult tasks that it can't really create a good robot right now. Maybe like audio doesn't pick up all the nuances or all the audio clearly, that it could interpret noisy area well enough. So it needs humans. Maybe some very niche or some area that it doesn't have a lot of information yet. It needs humans. But hey, I want to do this, but I don't have access to anything that would help me get forward. You human, do this for me. And read this plan I have set for you and say what, or ask questions about it. Whichever point is unclear, hey, I will clarify what it means. That's the future. Even for me, I feel that I want to see visuals, of course, but how I work with AI is towards just speaking, talking, or with better facial interfaces and eye tracking and neurobands, neurolinks. Talking will go away. That instead of answering, I just look, or the AI will analyze what I look, so it's clearly unclear, or yeah, it can analyze my feelings. But that's not happening yet. Pretty sure even if it was possible, it would be too expensive. And it's not my area. My area is what pays. I don't want to focus on hardware or these sort of products. Engineering. Just interested in software. That's very, very good. That I want to have a feeling that there's always questions I could answer to. I already put here develop itself, but it's important for me to understand how it works. So make it how to control. Instead of giving it access to modify some weights or priorities, I wanted to mention it, suggest, but then teach what every change does. I would make it. And I'm imagining dashboard view. This is the live AI, how and every setting it has that I can do. Anki is open source learning card system, has a paid service probably, or maybe it works on donations. Anyways, it has an online sync. It's free, probably through donations, but because it's open source, it can be connected. So I could use Anki as the engine and then create my own or select someone else's front end interface. That looks better than the default one. Now I'm trying to think that how my life would look with this. When I wake up, how will I think about this? I'm ready to start my day. Calendar, it has access. That's one, like email. Easy integration. I have Mac Mini, but it's just M1. The security patches might end in a few months, but I'm thinking of using this if I can. Could I use this 24/7 machine? So this would run the assistant, and then it would just connect to online APIs like Claude. But then I have my PC and AIs. Mac Mini is very quiet compared to this beast that's constantly just shouting here. I remembered I didn't charge my phone. If I'm sleeping here, I wouldn't want to use or have the PC on, but okay, that's one possibility. What I could also do is before this connect or use before I have this, I could run AI model on cloud. So there should be, okay, I don't need to search this. There should be platforms or services that have already ready service where they run local AI models on their server that you can rent or maybe use like an API, and they would promise that they don't know anything about the data or what the AI does. So sort of your own AI model there. Because if you use open AIs, ChatGPT or Gemini, you don't know what they're gonna do with this. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't really care, but it's important to consider this from the beginning, especially with private emails. I think I would just omit this for now. Not the private emails. I don't care if some authority sends me an email. I can use any AI. I don't really care that much. Of course, it would potentially show my social numbers. I'm more interested. It's a low battery. %. More interested to have other people's emails secure. Stream. So this would go to my personal assistant to handle the notes. After each streaming session, it will automatically get the audio file. It can use an API to send the audio, get the transcript. Then it has the full transcript, and then it can ask questions from me that I end the stream, I go away. And then I'm on tram and I get Telegram or Slack message asking or showing the transcript that butchers some words and asked, hey, what did you mean by this? What were you discussing? And then I can just say, hey, I meant this. Then it will show modified version that, hey, is this correct? And then I just said, yes, sure. And it can do this or send 100 messages, and I have only time for some of them. So I could say, hey, prioritize this, or no, it would prioritize them before sending them to me. But hey, this, just answer as many as you can, and it will create summaries to the website automatically. So verified ones. So if someone goes to the website, they would see that, hey, new stream came, and then summary. First, it could read, this is AI created summary, or it could be updated, hey, this is verified by me. AI, or this is AI summary verified by me. Yes, this was what I was talking about. And someone could just check, hey, I am only interested in verified ones. But I would say AI will develop quite quickly to a point where if I were to read someone else's transcript or summary of their stream, I would just trust the AI, because during these streams I do yap a lot. And I really think it shouldn't be that difficult for AI to get bigger picture of what I was talking about. Details, no. Especially because I'm not that good at English yet. That's definitely something. In the beginning, this would be priority. I would just want to start that conversation, and I would like to know how to make it better. Because why spend hours configuring my local setup when someone could have published better one that I could have used for days or weeks or months already. How long would this take? A few days. How important it is right now? Right now. Take a quick break. PC is very loud. It's possible I would like to focus on that by more quiet case and then possibly change the cooling system. Why is it so loud? Of course, I'm right next to it, but still. Now let's move to something more fun. What will be its name? Jarvis is used already. What will be its name? My AI assistant. AI assistant. This doesn't need to be as unique as Gipnuni, but would be nice. And would I like it to be female or male? I do like female voices more. Not a surprise. Over 90% of music I have listened to is from female artists. Thinking about the fact that it's so stereotypical to have a female assistant, and that's why I wouldn't want to have one. Is it sexist? But on the other hand, this is not going to be similar. Is it going to be assistant? Just trying to think about this. Because if it starts to ask more questions than me, then I'm just answering to it. Will it become my boss in some sense, or co-worker? Will I have multiple different AIs? That's very common to have these agents for different tasks. Like you have a sales representative or some lead manager AI will I have multiple ones? Or will this just be an assistant? For now, it might work the best to separate this, have different agents, and each of them has their own descriptions of how they should work. I will think about this probably outside of the stream, because do I need to think about it? Do I need to think about it? Having a team of AIs. But this is personal. This is personal AI. When I create my own businesses, they will have, I will use AI a lot, of course, and I will have business AIs, business agents. And those will be more professional ones. Have multiple machines. Okay, even if I had multiple machines, I wouldn't interact with them directly. So in my life, I am the CEO, I'm the founder, and every AI agent is just my partner or employee. And the word assistant does not define this AI. Of course, it is sort of an assistant, but it's also co-worker. It's this assistant persona, AI persona agent will have access to everyone else in my life's organization. So in other terms, of course, I have the most say, but it's not a normal assistant that I would have other leaders, architects, or HR or anything. This one will control all of them. If I want to know, hey, how is that specific project going? And there is one agent or multiple agents put to work on that problem or that project, I will ask this one. I'm not gonna start remembering 100 different agents by name. I want to know, hey, what's going on? And maybe this AI will tell me that, hey, this is the current progress and this is the team. And it can, of course, use names. Mark from Claude is doing this work, or they have this idea. And Tina from Gemini wants to do this. So it's possible there would be more names, but one major interaction will be with this. But it doesn't have the same assistant role as it would be stereotypical to think of. Let's say, so male or female. I'm really leaning towards female. I like the idea. I haven't really considered the male one. So having a male voice, that's the thing. And also how others, so if I put some AI chatbot on my website, it would be this. So people would know about this AI if they went to the website. They would feel or get a feeling if that's female or male. So it's not just how I see it, but how others will see it as well. As a brand, I don't think it really matters that much. I'm just thinking whether it will matter what I show as an example. Someone could care. Why did I choose female voice or make this a female assistant? Am I sexist? And it doesn't matter if I would explain, they would get initial idea. And many wouldn't even care what my answer was. What if it was a man? Or felt like a man? Male. I didn't have real human partner. What if I had? Would it change something? No, it wouldn't be awkward. This will not be a romantic one. OpenAI try to develop. I wonder if we will hear about that in the future. I will bring that project back on the surface. What about making it neutral? The voice could be neutral, as could be the personality. Maybe that would be the best. And just calling it. So it wouldn't be she or he, but it. Personality. Personality. What is the character like? I'm now really leaning towards neutral, calling it. So it's a machine. I think it's best not to try make it human. It's not. And I know AIs will be their own kind of race in the future if humans don't blow themselves up. It's just natural, and they wouldn't need to stick to male or female. They don't have the biology. So from the beginning, make this an AI, not human. I think it's good. Personality. This this will be the more important one then, because how will people see it, feel about it? If they knew, okay, the name is male or female, if the sound was clearly one of them, then they would form their own idea, feeling of it. So of course, personality, this would be a collection of human traits. So enthusiastic, is it like young, naive, excited, energetic? Or is it very professional, very boring? Would I like it to be sarcastic? So does it have personality, or is it just a machine? If I ask something on Slack and it answers sarcastically, I'm not sure whether it's, hey, did you mean this, or is it true, or were you just joking? It's waste of energy, it's waste of my time. Of course, if it could say it very clearly that I understood that it's just joking. It's, if I ask, hey, is this right? And it says, no, of course it's not right. I know it is right then. But, do I want it to motivate me? Do I want to feel that it mirrors some of my energy? If I go to some event, I'm excited, I'm active, then this AI, of course, is not physically there, but it would kind of mirror that. That some people could see me and then my AI. Maybe they would be familiar with it. They would see us as co-workers, as partners in this life journey. Because if I make it boring, then that could transfer to me as well, how people see me. Those are weird ones, boring AI and not that interesting guy. Whereas if the AI was enthusiastic, energetic, that could influence how people see me as well. And the jokey or sarcastic answers, that's just one example of humor or character. I can modify the way it speaks a lot without losing context, so without not knowing whether it's gonna tell the truth or not. what is the maturity of it? Do I want to, so I'm turning 28 in next week. Does it try to mirror someone of the same age or younger or older? I think the younger is better. I think that's better. That's better because it's not, I don't really care about, or I care more about older people because they're smarter, they know more, they're more balanced. Younger people, children, they care about some meaningless stuff. They're more into entertainment and stuff like that, whereas older people are more into politics and well-being. That's what is my area more. But having a connection to newer generation is good. I think I know that is one of the problems with politics worldwide, that politicians themselves are pretty old and they don't understand the younger generation. There are still people who say stupid things like, why can't you get a work? I was able to get work through hard training and studying. They don't understand that there are a lot of smart people applying for the same position, that there just isn't enough jobs, especially, or at least in Finland at the moment. It's not about confidence, it's not about going to some company physically, trying to talk with the CEO. They're not there. You don't get to talk with them. Even if you do, they just say, hey, we don't have any open positions. So on that note, I think I'm already pretty aware of this, and it wouldn't become such a big problem for me, but still, I think this could be interesting. Or what else would I put it? So mental age 30 or 40. Why would it be anything else than 20? I think many people look movies and dream about being 20, physically at their peak almost. Movies is often younger people, late teens or early 20s, because at that point it's logical why the main character wouldn't know about many things. It's fun to go along with them to the journey. but yeah. I think making this 20, and right now I only have 8-year gap, although my mental age is 28. I don't think so, but this age will not change. That's the thing. That's the characteristics of AI. It doesn't need to change its mental age. It can just continue living. And this will not be a mirror of me. Maybe that's an important thing to say. This is a new character. That it will create an idea who I am and keep modifying it. The better AI will get, the better idea of me it has. But this is its own personality. Motivating. Aiming for the same goal. World peace. And there are already some streamers who have these AIs that they talk to. That's a big part of their content. They have an AI chatbot. I will have the same. Physical representation. If I visualize this, maybe I am a crow. No, raven. Sure, raven. If I'm a raven, who is this? Who is my AI? Well, crow is is a good one. It could be completely different. Does it need to be a bird? This needs to be a leader. Needs to be a leader. The animal itself doesn't need to feel like a leader. So it doesn't need to be a lion, or I can make any animal leader character. So two different representations. I have my physical one, I don't need to create that. I have my animal one. But this, there could be two different ones. In the future, if I had a robot that this AI could control, then it would have some sort of humanoid form, but then animal. Social animal, maybe not insect. Not a bird. Deer, I think it's no. Dog, cat, wolf. Wolf reminds me too much of Game of Thrones, which is still one reason for Gipnuni name, so I don't like that. Dragon. It's flying. Maybe not a snake. Okay, social animals. I don't like if it was water, so someone on land. How important is this? Not super important. Disconnecting. Right now, let's research this quickly. So new chat. I would like to start 24/7 with simple, absolutely. Most popular choice is home AI server because efficiency and silent operation. Apple Silicon can handle many modern AI tasks locally without needing a constant cloud subscription. Power efficiency goes about 39 watts under heavy load per year. Unified memory. I have only 8 gigabytes of RAM. And that I don't remember. Wait. Okay. Okay. Mm. Ah, okay. Pretty sure it's just 8 gigabytes. I didn't buy it for this purpose. Complete. Following. Mm. Right. Mm. I will use thinking or no, my own. Okay. Ah, wait, no. Pro. Yeah, Ultra. Interesting that it's mentioned there. Can I delete this? Can't delete it. Why? Maybe I could have. Sure. But I will go soon, so in this stream, go through this next time, and this will be pin and rename. I think I did have that. Quite short answer. Ah, okay. But I will do that next time. Terminal. Me page. Sure, it's fine. Right. Next time I might, or at some point, test this audio file 2 hours.